Now we can start modeling the second floor. We could create exactly the same floor by copying all the elements, but I still suggest making an additional outdoor veranda. I suggest you recall all the actions that we performed when modeling the first floor. Initially, we placed a raster for convenient modeling. Then we placed the axes. After that, we started modeling the exterior walls, interior partitions and floors. We will repeat all these steps. Turn on the auxiliary lines, axes, and raster layers and change the visual style to 2D wireframe. Now we need to create a reference segment, but before that we will remove unnecessary auxiliary lines. Create a reference segment 28,790 mm long from the origin. Please make sure that the ortho mode is enabled. Place an image of the second floor. Go to the Insert tab and activate the Insert Image command. Click on the Browse button. Find the file with the name Second Floor Plan and double-click on it. Using the endpoint anchor, place the raster at the beginning of the segment. Let's use the Move command. Select a raster by clicking on its edge. Specify the first oblique as the base point, as shown in the video. Next, activate the Scale command. Specify the beginning of the segment as the base point, and then select the reference length mode in the command line from the bottom. Next, specify the length by clicking on the first oblique and the second oblique. To select a new length, click on the end point of the segment. In the properties of the raster, set the transparency parameter to 40. Match the raster of the second floor plan with the existing exterior walls of the first floor using the Move command. In the raster properties, specify the value 3001 in the Z position parameter. For convenience, leave the placed raster on the auxiliary lines layer. Set the visual style to Conceptual. The walls of the first floor are visible. The remaining layers can be hidden. Hide the axes, raster, and internal partitions. Now we can start building the walls of the second floor. As I mentioned earlier, in the nanoCAD platform, the 3D module has various options for modeling elements. Let's try to model the exterior walls of the second floor using Polysolid. Activate the Polysolid command, which is located on the 3D Tools tab in the Direct Modeling group, and perform all settings via the command line. The height parameter is 3000. Press Enter. The width parameter is 500. The alignment parameter is on the left. We start from the first point, using bindings to the walls of the first floor, and then set only the lengths or bind to existing walls. Left 14,650. Down 5,200. Right 1,500. Down 4,300. Right 16,550. Up 2,800. Right 5,450. Up 8,950. Left 8,850. Left 2,250. Right-click and select the Enter command. The resulting 3D solid can be edited with grips, if necessary. Let's move the created exterior walls 300 mm up using the new 3D Move command, which is located on the 3D Tools tab in the Manipulators group. Activate the command. At the command prompt, select the Z-axis movement mode. Specify the displacement distance of 300. Also transfer the exterior walls to the appropriate layer. Deselect it. Now let's start modeling the slab. Set the floor structures layer as the current layer. Activate the Polyline tool and start building the outline by anchoring the endpoint of the exterior wall. For further construction, use bindings or snaps, or set the length using the keyboard. Down 12,000. Right 18,050. Down 3,000. Right 7,800. up 7,300, right 1,500, up 9,950, right 550, up 16,355, left 8,900, down 16,355, left 4,350, down 2,250, left 6,580, up 5,850, left 6,660, down 5,850, left 1,410. Move the created contour to level 3000. Use the Extrude tool to create a slab with a thickness of 300 millimeters. Move the created object to the appropriate layer. It remains for us to create the partitions. For the convenience of modeling, hide unnecessary layers, and leave the layers of internal partitions and auxiliary lines to guide the construction. Let's move copies of several partitions from the first floor to the second. To do this, select 6 partitions and use the Move Copy command to move them up to a distance of 3,300 millimeters. Temporarily transfer the copied partitions to the auxiliary lines layer. Now change the value of the partition lengths using the Presspull command. Reduce the length of this partition by 1,700. Increase the partition by 200. Reduce the length of the partition by 1,900. Move the partition up and increase its length by 2,350. Move the partition to the left by 20. Create the remaining partitions using the box tool, setting the length via the command line or using snaps. The width of all partitions is 140, the height is 3,000. When modeling, use all the knowledge you have gained in previous lessons. In some cases, you can temporarily hide objects for the convenience of modeling. After the constructions, transfer all the interior walls to the appropriate layer. Disable the display of the auxiliary lines layer and enable the display of the floor structures layer. The second floor is ready. Now we can go to the next lesson.